What's up, Star Wars fans? Hello there! This is Oprah and Sisses, and this is the review of Star Wars Rebels Season 4, Episode 13, A World Between Worlds. Now, I did a little pause in my reviews because of some personal stuff, but I'm continuing. This is Season 4, Episode 13, A World Between Worlds. My review of it. Now this episode starts out where we left off from the last one, with Ezra jumping into the portal that led to this very strange place, which is called A World Between Worlds. The wolves guiding him. We hear some familiar voices. Obi-Wan, Yoda, Kylo Ren, Sheridan, Jyn Erso. All those iconic quotes that they said in the movies are all present here and heard like echoes. Ezra ends up in this place and he doesn't understand what it is. Neither do we, but it's like I love the design of this mysterious world between worlds. The lines, the bridges, the pathways, the portals. It all is incredible, almost something unrealistic that we can't imagine of. And I think the creators of the series did a wonderful job sort of creating this place. We then cut to Sabine being brought by force into Minister Huygen's office. Mr. Huygen is a new character who was introduced in the last episode and is the head of the excavation of the Jedi Temple artifacts team for the Empire. Basically, he wants to know how Ezra managed to unlock the portal when the actual Emperor Palpatine couldn't do it. Huygen tells Sabine that the Emperor is quite impressed with Ezra and how he managed to open the portal. And basically, Huygen says that you need to help me to understand the secrets of this temple, because if you do not, harm will come to Ezra, as Emperor Palpatine can actually sort of go into there in time. So Sabine is forced to help Minister Huygen discover the secrets of the temple and what the artifacts and the paintings in the temple represent. Now, in the last episode, I wasn't particularly interested in the Minister Huygen's character. However, in this one, I think it's impossible, at least for me, to resist to want to know more about him. While we don't get much information, we can see that he is rather smart, as he understands that Sabine is one to really cooperate and is trying to pretend like she doesn't know anything. We cut back to Ezra, who is continuing his way along the world between worlds, seeing the secrets that this place can give him. He comes across a familiar-looking owl who is sitting above one of the portals in this strange place. Now, in my Season 4 trailer review, I thought that this owl, which we were shown there, was one of the owls on the Zygerian Queen's shoulder. But I was wrong, because it is actually the owl that sat on the shoulder of the daughter of Mortis, and that always followed Ahsoka around during the Rebels episodes. Now, the stuff with Minister Huygen and Sabine is kind of important, but we've got a lot to cover up, and I don't want to do a part 2 to keep you waiting, so I'll just tell you the key plot points. Basically, the minister points out to Sabine that the painting moved the location of the wolves, the location of the father's hand, and the location of the daughter's head. And basically, they understand that the daughter opens the portal, so to close it, the sun is closing it. So this is what they discover by cooperating, of course, against her will, by Sabine, that the portal can basically be opened by the daughter and closed by the son. This is where things get really interesting. Basically, the owl leads Ezra to the portal, which basically shows the fight between Ahsoka and Vader. I remind people who forgot or didn't watch season 2. Basically, we don't know the fate of Ahsoka because we didn't see the end of the battle. We only saw like until the middle of it, and then the door closed. But now we see the full battle and understand what happened. Did she survive? Did she die? And actually something completely different happened. Because Ezra was watching as Vader was basically slowly killing Ahsoka and starting to defeat her, when the Sith Temple on Malachor began basically exploding and everything, and then it seemed like Ahsoka was doomed because Vader overpowered her, Ezra took her out of that moment and brought her to the world between worlds. So, basically, it's kind of a time travel thing, but not completely, as Ezra was already part of the original timeline, as he was in the world between worlds. And basically, yeah, it's like time travel. He saved her from death, so that's what happened to her back then. She didn't die, but Vader didn't show pity to her and she didn't escape. It was just Ezra watching her through one of the portals in this mysterious mystical place, and eventually being so afraid for her that he takes her out of the moment, and Vader is like,
"What the? I don't understand. What is that?"
Ezra talks with Ahsoka, explaining everything that happened and how he was led here. Ahsoka also gives us some information, such as that the bird, the owl, is actually the daughter of Mortis, because sort of Ahsoka says, I own her my life, and the daughter in the Clone Wars sort of sacrificed herself for Ahsoka. Well, I don't quite remember, but something like that. Then she also tells us that Doom, the wolf Doom in the last episode, may have been Kanan's spirit, and that maybe that was why he was telling him to come here, to save her. However, Ezra understands that he can save not only her, but also Kanan. He finds a portal where Kanan's death is shown. He wants to interfere, however, Ahsoka in the last moment sort of persuades him not to, as she explains that if Kanan is saved, all of them will die, as he sacrificed himself for the others to live. Ezra offers Ahsoka the chance to go to his friends and the other rebels and members of the Ghost Crew. However, Ahsoka says that she can't. Then we hear this mysterious voice saying,
"Perhaps I can."
And at first it seems like the voice is Darth Vader's, and I think that's the effect they were going for. But as the sentence continues, we understand, at least me, that it's something much, much better. It's Palpatine with Ian McDermott back in the role again, the actor who played Palpatine, and it's incredible because no other voice is like his. And he says,
"Ezra Bridger and Ahsoka Tano, mine at last."
And then he has this very evil cackle that he does like I can't really do it. And then we cut away. Basically, the Ghost Crew rescues Sabine from Minister Huygen's captivity, resulting in a chase with the stormtroopers. And there's this very sort of brutal kill where Chopper, the funny droid of the Ghost Crew, basically activates this truck and runs over the stormtroopers with its wheels. And we aren't shown that, but we are shown like how and it's very brutal, and yet it's supposed to make us feel good. And those rebels are very evil. After all, stormtroopers are people just like they are. But basically we cut back to Ezra and Ahsoka standing in front of a portal in which the Emperor appeared, and the Emperor starts using the Sith magic, similar to the one he used in the Clone Wars. Now, in the Clone Wars, it was kind of out of place, in my opinion, but here it seems a little bit more good, like executed better. Then Ahsoka and Ezra start running off. Ezra is almost captured. However, then Ahsoka burns the hand of Palpatine, and Ezra is let go. Ahsoka eventually jumps into a portal and arrives back onto the Sith temple on Malachor, and that's when we see the ending of season 2, where she was like walking down the staircase and we saw the shot from the behind for a very short while. So it was all planned out, this whole story of Ahsoka ever since season 2. That's genius. Ezra also escapes, resulting in him meeting with the Ghost Crew. He knows that he must close the portal for the Emperor not to reach it and not to use this place. He activates the Son of Mortis. However, due to the sun being the dark side, Ezra falls unconscious. The Son of Mortis closes the portal, resulting in the actual temple being destroyed, with Minister Huygen dying and accepting his fate, and the Ghost Crew barely managing to escape. When Ezra wakes up, he is basically inside a ship or something. Inside the truck they escaped in. And the Lothal temple no longer exists, like it is no longer on the place where it was. And then Ezra says a final goodbye to Kanan as the wolf runs away, with the spirit of Kanan finally going into the other world. So what do I think of the episode? It is certainly one of the best, if not the best, episode in the series. The World Between Worlds is a great idea. It was executed brilliantly, and it's been nearly over a month since I last saw that episode, and I'm still fascinated by how they tied in everything with Ahsoka and her fate. I also think it has everything is it's perfect, well, nearly perfect. The fact that time travel was introduced was kind of worrying, but they executed it just perfectly again. So it doesn't seem like time travel, because it isn't. It's sort of just a connection by the Force, just with a bit of a hint of changing the past, but it's completely different, in my opinion, from sci-fi time traveling. This is a great episode. However, it's just that I'm not completely I wasn't as interested in it as the last one, so 9.5 out of 10. It's a great one.